Strategies for dealing with speaking questions for part 3 of the test for 2023. You've probably seen some of my videos for part 1 and 2 of the test. I'm going to approach part 3 in a different way. And the main reason for this is that in part 3 of the test, the examiner can actually make their own questions. They're not following the script of the test booklet like they are in part 1 and 2. So this actually means that we don't know exactly what questions you're going to get in your test. So what I'm going to do to help you prepare for part 3 of your speaking test is to give you 3 really valuable things. These are 5 strategies for extending your answers. This is really important because in part 3 you need to give longer answers than part 1, about double the length, about 6 or 7 sentences on average. And I'm going to be giving you some strategies that can help you extend your answers. I'm also going to outline the 8 types of questions that are commonly asked in the test, in part 3 of the test. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of vocabulary for the current topics that we know about so far for 2023. Now these topics come from part 2 of the test, right? You have part 2 of your test, and whatever that topic is, you're going to get something related to that in part 3. This video is going to focus on the 5 strategies for extending your answers. And then the other parts I mentioned, the 8 types of questions, I'm going to refer you to another video for that, and also for the vocabulary for topics that we know about in 2023. I'm going to make a separate video for that. So today's video is focusing on the 5 strategies, 5 ways that you can approach your answer to the question that the examiner proposes, and also how you can give longer answers. Like I said, this is incredibly important in part 3, and one of the indicators of fluency is the length of your answers. You need to show the examiner that you can speak at length, and so this video is going to help you to do that. So I'm going to be introducing to you 5 ways that you can extend your answers in part 3 of the test, using 5 different strategies. Okay, so just quickly, the 5 strategies are: divide your answer into 2 or 3 main points, answer from general to specific, use depends to give different reasons or different situations, use a concession, start off avoiding answering the question directly, and avoiding or kind of stalling strategy. Okay, so let's have a look at the first of these. Let's use the question of what kind of food do people in your country like? And then let's use the first strategy of having 2 or 3 main points to respond to the question. In other words, instead of just mentioning one type of food, I'm going to mention 2 or 3 kinds of food to make the answer longer. Now you might listen to an example of this strategy to respond to the question.
Well, people in my country have a wide range of tastes when it comes to food, but there are a few cuisines that are particularly popular. For example, Italian food is always a hit. People love their pizzas, pasta dishes, and juicy meatballs. Korean food has become increasingly popular in recent years, with people going crazy for Korean barbecue and kimchi fried rice. Mexican food is another popular option, with tacos, burritos, and enchiladas being firm favorites. People also enjoy trying new and exotic dishes, so you'll find plenty of other cuisines represented here too. But these three cuisines are definitely up there in terms of popularity.
So now let's look at the same question again. What kind of food do people in your country like? But this time let's change the strategy to general to specific. Now this involves mentioning just one type of food, Italian food, and then talking about it more specifically by mentioning pasta and then onto an example of spaghetti bolognese. So this is the general to specific, Italian food, pasta, spaghetti bolognese. Now let's listen to an example of using this strategy to answer the question.
Italian food is a favorite among many, and pasta is at the heart of it all. Spaghetti bolognese is one classic pasta dish that people just can't get enough of. Made with a rich tomato sauce and juicy ground beef, this dish is comforting, filling, and packed with flavor. Whether for a quick weeknight dinner or to impress guests, spaghetti bolognese is a surefire crowd pleaser. The combination of tender spaghetti noodles and a hearty meat sauce is hard to resist, making this dish a staple in households across the country. And let's not forget about the Parmesan cheese. Sprinkled on top, it adds a delicious nutty flavor and extra richness.
For the same question, what kind of food do people in your country like? I'm now going to have a model answer using the depends strategy. We can use depends when we want to have a two-part answer. In this case, it will depend on the age of the person, whether the person is young or old.
When it comes to food preferences, it can sometimes depend on whether people are young or old. Younger people tend to enjoy trying new and unique cuisines, like Korean food with its bold flavors and exotic ingredients. They love dishes like bibimbap and kimchi fried rice. Meanwhile, older people often stick to what they know and love, like Italian food. They enjoy classic dishes like spaghetti and meatballs and chicken parmesan. And, when it comes to Mexican food, both young and old can appreciate the bold flavors and spices in dishes like tacos and enchiladas. So, it's a mix of old favorites and new experiences, depending on the age group.
This time, I'm going to answer the question with the strategy of a concession. I'm going to present a main idea, in this case, fast food being popular. Then I'm going to give a concession about it not being very healthy.
When it comes to food, fast food is definitely a popular option for people in my country. Burgers, fries, and fried chicken are all favorites. However, I must concede that overall, people's diets are not as healthy as they were in the past. The convenience and low cost of fast food can make it difficult to resist. But there's a growing movement towards healthier eating, with people trying to incorporate more fresh fruits and vegetables into their diets. While fast food may still be a popular option, people are becoming more conscious of the importance of a balanced and healthy diet.
This time, I'm going to answer the question using the avoiding strategy, where I avoid directly answering the question. This is a really useful strategy when you're not too sure about what the real answer to the question should be. For instance, if you just don't know what kind of food is popular in your country, that could happen, right? There's so many different kinds. How do you select which ones are popular, which ones are not popular? Maybe you don't get out a lot, maybe you stay home a lot, in which case you might know what you like, but you might not know what other people like. Let's have a look at the example.
This is a tricky question because food is a complex topic, with so many different cuisines and preferences to consider. People's tastes can be influenced by a variety of factors, from cultural background to personal experiences. What I can say is that food has the power to bring people together, whether it's through shared meals or trying new dishes. It has the ability to evoke memories, spark conversations, and create new experiences. So, while I can't give you a straightforward answer about what kind of food people in my country like, I can say that food is an integral part of daily life and has a big impact on people's lives.
If you found this video useful, please subscribe so that you will receive notifications when I make new videos. Also, you might like to watch the other two videos that I mentioned at the start of this one. This video was all about strategies. You might like to look at the video about different kinds of questions that you get asked in part 3 of your test, and also the vocabulary, useful vocabulary, high-level vocabulary for current topics that are in the test in 2023. If you need a lot of help preparing for your speaking test, you might be interested in joining my IELTS Speaking Success course. I'll also put a link to that in the description. This course can quickly and effectively prepare you for your test. Best of luck preparing for your test in 2023.